Okay, I was at the insectarium. At the insectarium, they have a butterfly garden. You guys ever been there? Butterfly garden, they tell you, before you walk into the butterfly garden, they say, look, the butterflies are very fragile, so you can't touch the butterflies. But if they land on you, that's okay. If they touch you, that's okay. But don't touch the butterflies. And it was in that moment that I realized why so many strippers have tattoos of butterflies. They can touch you, but don't fucking touch them. Thank you. I was walking outside of a strip club and the promoter standing outside said, come on in, no cover. And I was like, duh, I think I know how strip clubs work, right? They're naked in there, obviously. Thank you. My big predicament is I go to strip clubs, but I seem to go when all the really hot chicks apparently had more important plans. So I only go to strip clubs on Father's Day, because I know they don't have anything else to do. All right. I'm surprised that strippers don't get involved in politics, because they're already accustomed to working the polls. You know what I mean? And they've been fucking over politicians for years. Okay, it's good. It's funny. During COVID, they said that student enrollment was at an all-time low in colleges, especially amongst females. So as it turns out, some of those strippers were actually paying for school. Who knew? Who knew? It's crazy. Speaking of COVID, during COVID, everybody was like trying to exercise as much as possible, but the Fitbit had a problem. They couldn't tell the difference between using a shake weight and chronic masturbators. The app just wasn't designed for that. Thought some of my friends had a shake weight. Turns out they were just really into Game of Thrones. And not for the dragons either. I don't know why they have the shake weight, because like women didn't really need the shake weight. They just had divorce. That's... All right. That's 3 shake weight jokes, you guys. Friend showed me pictures of his girlfriend. I was like, what's going on? This looks like gym equipment and shake weights. What the fuck, dude? All right, that's the 4th shake weight joke and we're done. Maybe there's more, who knows? So the shake, I'm kidding. Back to strippers. Strippers are a lot like toll booths. They only let you get so far before they start asking you for more money. It's crazy. Do you want to go further? That's another $5. Just put it in the slot. Let's keep moving. New Orleans is really confusing. Before I moved to New Orleans, right, I really thought people here were like really religious and really political. Because every time I talked to people, they were like constantly looking for churches or rallies. Churches or rallies. Turns out they don't give a shit about God. They just want chicken and hamburgers. It's a funny joke, because churches and rallies. This message brought to you by Shake Weights. All right. Moving to the south, I moved here from Florida, so I went north, but Florida is not the south. It's just like southern New York, northern Cuba. We're not the south at all. But everybody told me that the south people are so nice, and that's true. I moved to New Orleans 8 years ago, and within a few weeks, my neighbors were so nice, they checked my mail for me, even though I never asked them to. Specifically asked that they please stop taking my packages, but somebody should enjoy those gifts, I think. All right. If you go into the quarter, you're going to see a lot of psychics. I got to tell you guys, I hate to break the news to you, psychics don't know the future. They're just intuitive people who sort of just judge you based on your appearance. So they're very intuitive. They can tell you a lot about different things in life, but not dental care. Not dental care at all. Fucking toothless people. Holy crap. Didn't understand why so many people in New Orleans had tattoos. Turns out they just wanted to spend their money on something their roommate couldn't steal while they were sleeping. You know what I mean? Like their cell phone charger, their laptop, their boyfriend, their portion of the rent. Cindy, I'm talking to you. You here? All right. Actually, my first apartment I got discounted. It was supposed to be $1,400, but I got it for $1,150. I got it $250 cheaper because someone died in the apartment 8 months before I moved into it. True story. Turns out I had the best roommate in the world. They always put in their fair share every month and they never bothered me. Incredible. By the way, this whole category of haunted, not haunted only works in the greater New Orleans area and on the dating list of Craigslist, right? I'm just haunted by my past and my last boyfriend. Okay. When I went to the Bywater, you guys all know like the Bywater area. Okay, I went to the Bywater and I heard about all the Anne Rice and vampire books. True story, guys. I thought the Bywater was where all the vampires lived because everyone there wears all black. Nothing opens until the sun goes down. None of the bathrooms have mirrors. You talk to anyone, and they all have like 7 roommates, and they live in a 1-bedroom apartment. What the fuck? Do you guys live underground? Share a casket? Okay. These are funny jokes, I promise. First moving out here, they're like, there's so many transplants out here. There's so many transplants. And then I went to Auctioner and realized they were talking about liver. They were talking about livers, guys. Number 1 in the nation in liver transplants. And they have Bourbon Street to thank for that. Public service announcement, never complain when you see 6 cops pulling over 1 car, because that is 5 cops that are not fucking with you. So let the hyenas feed and run, gazelle. Just run. Also, as a Hispanic male, I just want to say racial profiling is wrong. Because not all minorities with expensive cars sell drugs. Some of us stole the car. Just way easier. And right now the drug business is just way too competitive. Everybody gets a small business license. Oh my goodness. My friend was a cop for 8 months, decided to quit, true story, but he realized he was good at cop things, like flashing his lights, looking up records, telling people to put their hands in the air. So he's a DJ now. All right. You know the cop shortage is bad when you get a ticket, and on the back of the ticket, it's like, you could pay this ticket, or you could apply for NOPD. I don't know where you've worked before, but you ever got a $145 discount off the bat? Join the force, please. And then there was all that crazy stuff with Mayor Cantrell. Apparently, one of her friends said, fuck the police, and she was like, all right. No, I have all these fancy dresses. Where else am I going to wear them? It's a funny joke, thank you. Then we started changing all the street names, which was great, because for the first time ever, streets had any fucking sign at all, because they were all gone. In the scrapyard, by the way, 20 cents for every sign you find. They started changing all the street names because apparently the street names were considered racist. So they took them from names you kind of knew and then turned them to names you have no idea who the fuck they are, and you Google to figure out why they named it. Anyway, but I realized, wow, that was really quick. They changed the street names really quick, so I started writing to the city about all the racist potholes, horribly racist potholes they need to remove immediately. How do I know they're racist? Most of the time when those cars break down, black cars. Almost always black cars. It's a funny joke, you guys. I love this game. I love this fun game. You guys ever play this game when it rains? Fun game called Puddle or Pool. Oh my god, so fun, right? Puddle or Pool. Let's play this game. We're gonna wager 2014 Toyota Corolla. Let's figure this shit out, right? So, it stopped raining and you're like, is this a 2-inch deep puddle? Or is this a 2-foot deep pool? I don't know. Let's fucking figure this out. And we're done. Call a tow truck. We lose. So crazy. There's also another fun guessing game in New Orleans. Actually, all around New Orleans, really. I know where we are. All around New Orleans, it's a fun game. You can only play here, and Chicago, maybe, and Baltimore, but just those places, and anywhere else. Anyway, it's a fun game. It's called Firework or Firearm. So fun, oh my gosh. So great. On the 4th of July or New Year's Eve, you play this fun game, Firework or Firearm. You hear bum, bum, bum. You're like, colors in the sky? No? Down on the ground! Down on the ground! Just wait it out, guys. Just wait it out. It's a good game for the whole family. I'm not the best communicator. A few days ago, I told my friends that I think my grandma watches me masturbate, which I realize now is a horrible way of saying I believe in ghosts. I realize that now, you know what I mean? Could have started off by saying my grandma died. That'd probably be helpful because most of my friends didn't know that. In the long story, because you ever hate those people who say long story short, right, and then talk for 12 more minutes, and you're like, I gotta get back to work, I don't want to lose my job. Anyway, I'm one of those like short story shorter, right? So I could have said, hey, me and my grandma were really close, and I feel like no matter where I go or what I do, I feel like she's with me almost all the time. And I'd really like it if she took some 45-minute breaks every once in a while so I can get back to spending time with my best friend down here. Anyway, I don't want to feel like my grandma's watching me. But I didn't say all that. I just said, I think my grandma watches me masturbate. Also, I found a huge difference. You guys might think, right, that small is the same as little, right? You guys think small is the same as little? Small is the same as little, right? So my friend Dan was like, hey guys, I like to fuck big girls. And everyone cheered for him and thought that was super cool. But when I said I like to fuck little girls, none of my friends answer my calls anymore. Because apparently you can say small, but if you say little, people are just like, I'm deleting your number from my phone and any histories we have together. I'm 5'7" on a good day. I'm not going to walk around with a step stool to make out with a 6'2" fucking Amazonian princess here, okay? I like short girls, petite girls, small girls. Never say little. I also don't hear that well. I was on a date, the girl said that she was brought up and she was always taught to be treated like a Disney princess, and I said, I don't know that I like you enough to kill both of your parents. Seems like it's pretty early for you to be asking me that. I know what you're insinuating, and I'm not comfortable right now. Why don't we give it a few months, maybe? I already don't like your mom. Anyway, because I know in every Disney movie, we all know how it works. You want the crown, you gotta sacrifice something. Usually both parents. Disney. And then parents bring their kids to Disney, like, why do you keep trying to stab me? I want to be with Mickey now. All right. I was talking to a girl. The date was not going well. The second I told her I was a tourist, she forgot who I was and started thinking about every tourist she ever dated in her entire life, right? So I tried this thing. You guys can try it. If you're on a date, girl in the back, you can try this too. If the date's not going well, order a drink that comes with cherries. Cherries come with stems. So I bet her $20 that she could not tie the cherry stem in a knot with her tongue. Now I will tell you, I lost $20, but I gained 8 minutes of peace and quiet. So, who really lost, right? Who really lost? When I first moved out here, I looked around, I'm like, wow, a lot of people have bikes. But now that I've lived here, I'm like, wow, a lot of people have DUIs. See, for me, I don't drink. That's all I like. Give me 1 second. I don't drink. But when I tell people I don't drink, they always assume that there's a story. That like me or my mom or my dad had some horrible drinking problem. You feel me right there. There's no story, guys. There's no story. I just don't like the taste of alcohol. I also don't eat mayonnaise. Does anyone else here just not eat mayonnaise? I don't eat mayonnaise. But that's because my dad beat the fuck out of me with a mayonnaise jar all throughout my childhood. I'm kidding. These are jokes. There were packets, mayonnaise packets, and he would fling them at me, and it would cut my face. But when I'm going out, my friends are never like, hey man, we're gonna go to places that serve mayonnaise. Is that weird for you? And finally, look, guys, I really don't drink, and so it's always difficult going out to bars, because going to a bar when you don't drink is like going to a playground and you don't have any kids. There's nothing illegal about it, but everyone's extremely uncomfortable once they find out, right? You're just sitting at a public park on a bench. Someone sits down and like, oh, kids are so majestic, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Oh, which one's yours? None of them. None of those kids are mine. I just like seeing the hair, the wind just flowing through their hair on the slide and the swing. Where are you going? Why are you calling the police? What's going on? When you try talking to a woman at a bar and she's like, well, what are you drinking? And you're like, Red Bull. And she's like, Red Bull and what? Like Red Bull and ice. She's just like, my friends warned me about you. True story. Girl finds out I don't drink. Puts her hand on my thigh and says, look, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, but I'm pretty sure a bar is not the best place for someone who's obviously recovering from alcoholism. And I don't care how cute you are and how great this conversation is going, I have made promises to my friends and my family that I intend to keep. So I have to walk away, because I can't put them through this again. And as she walks away, I'm like, you thought I was cute? You thought I was just... I'll start drinking for you, baby. I'll drink, have a huge drinking problem, recover, we'll come back here 10 years from now to celebrate. What's going on? I will drink for you. It's a true story. It happened in Miami. Me and Kobe Bryant and LeBron James were all hanging out. This is before the tragedy, the rape accusations. And yeah, just that. But you guys have been great. Thank you so much.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Christopher Anthony. Hell yeah. He was talking about having kids. Anybody here have kids? One person,